Hi everyone, today I'm here with Sakina and Chelsie, and I'm Angelica, and we're going to be talking about our Uplift Solano project. So for our group communication class, we were assigned an Uplift Solano project where we had to find an issue with Solano Community College and find a way to fix it. And our group came up with 3 ideas to begin with.
Now the first idea that we thought would best fit and is relatable to all of us, especially us being girls, is allowing students to park in the faculty parking after a certain time. Now, although this isn't something that we're requesting for a whole day, but it is something when students have night classes that it's really dark, and usually we tend to park farther away because there's no spaces in the front. Yet the empty spaces that are available are faculty, because there's not more faculty than students, obviously. And so we thought that if we were able to allow the admissions or Solano to approve this, then it would be more safer and more students would want to be able to take night classes. Now, we didn't choose this primarily because it was going to be really tedious in the sense of a lot of paperwork, and it wouldn't be something that we would be able to get done right then and there and see our results. So we decided not to really go through this, but I still think it's a great idea that Solano students should look into to try to implement here.
Yeah, and then our second idea was getting the early college high school program more involved with the Solano campus. As a student there myself, I know that sometimes we feel isolated and like we're our own little school. But we decided not to do this one because it really only relates to me, and there was no physical thing we could come up with that would get us more involved.
And then the third one would be the an idea that we decided that we would finally do, and it would be the best for to add to Solano. It would be a Stress Less Week. The importance of this event would basically be to spread mental health awareness and also get Solano Community College together and gather students and have activities out and in the quad that they can all participate in. And I also had a certain experience that I can tell you guys about. When I went to Sac State, I also went through the same thing. We did Stress Less Week during Dead Week, and it was a really, really stress relieving event where I got to get free food, or free snacks actually, and pet dogs. It was a really fun event to help me relieve lots of stress from finals.
Which makes sense, because at the end of the day, us students are really stressed, and we try to cram everything a week before, and we just forget about the world, and we're not eating, we're not sleeping, we're just constantly like putting our face in a book. So I think this is something that we all could relate to, and and I think this is why we chose that too, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And then so after we came up with our idea, we started going into the process of planning. And one of our first steps for the planning process was coming up with the events for each day of the week.
And then on Monday, it would be a positive Post-its day. On Tuesday, it would be hot chocolate. On Wednesday, it would be a tentative event, which would be pause for a break. On Thursday, it would be granola and bubbles. And then on Friday, it would be meditation for everyone.
Yeah, so as Chelsie was saying, on Monday we will be having positive Post-its, and that's a really simple event. It is one of our most busiest days, and students are able to see what this week is going to look like, and to see if they want to participate, because a lot of students are in a sense scared, or in that sense really want to go study and not waste time. So having positive Post-its are going to be available for them to just even walk through and look at, or if they want to write it towards themselves or towards someone, it would greatly impact anyone that reads it, because once you read something positive, or you take your mind away from all this stressing and just trying to figure out what the right answer is, you kind of feel a little bit better, more relaxed, and I think that's going to impact our students tremendously,
And I think that's really important that you talk about how fast and quick the events will be, because a lot of the activities that we have throughout from Monday through Friday, there are a lot of just stop and go. So like the hot cocoa, the positive Post-its, you can stop by the table, you can take a picture if you'd like, you can ask what's going on, write on the Post-it, and just go on.
Yeah, Mondays can be super depressing sometimes, so it's nice to have a little positive note.
Yeah.
And then on Tuesday, we decided to do hot chocolate because we felt it'd be an easy and fast thing for students to come by and pick up really fast. And it'd just be a little thing to brighten their day, and it'll be colder, it'll be the winter time, and we're getting ready for the holiday season.
Yeah, exciting.
Yeah. And then Wednesday, it would be a tentative event, which is pause for a break. If that, and the reason why it's a tentative is because of some circumstances where the event is not yet official. And so instead, if we didn't have that one, we would do coloring pages. So we'd have like a booth or table set up where students at the community college can come to the table and release some stress by coloring, maybe gathering friends, talking, having lunch together. So it's a really simple event. And if the pause for a break event will pull through, which we're hoping it'll pull through, there would be dogs from the SPCA shelter. So they're going to be adoptable dogs where students can come and play. A lot of the dogs are going to be trained, so they're all nice and friendly. They can play with the dogs, take pictures. Again, it's a quick event, so you can just pet them. If you're running through quad and you have no time, you can just snap a picture of them or Snapchat or something. It's going to be a really quick event and really fun.
Yeah. Everyone loves dogs.
I personally, I love dogs, so it's going to be a cool event. Yeah.
Now, for our Thursday, we will be having bubbles and granola. So why we would be having a snack is usually during this time, like students really forget to eat breakfast. I mean, especially college students in general. But during this time, we just leave home without even drinking water, grabbing a snack. So this gives a student access to something to at least munch on or, do before like studying. And so we also have bubbles this day. And although bubbles might seem childish, we do have a stats from a high school that had presented that saying bubbles did affect students to stress less right before taking a test. Now, although those are high school students and we are college students, I think it still would work both the same way because bubbles are something playful, and it does, distract you at a point, and if it distracts you from stressing, like, that's our goal, right?
Yeah. And then on Friday, we decided to do meditation because sometimes you just need a breather before the storm comes, and we felt it would be nice to put at the end of the week so that students can go into the weekend with a clear mind and be ready to study and work.
Mm-hmm. What's cool is that also the meditation for everyone would be like a kind of like a free event. When most of the classes here at Solano or at gym memberships, you would have to pay for like a meditation or yoga class, or you would have to enroll in the classes here at Solano. So which is cool, it'd be free.
And
yeah,
it's
we made
simple. Sorry.
We made it really easy for students to just stop by really fast without any cost, and it just like a really easy, simple event.
That's pretty much. I mean, every event, as Chelsie was saying, is something that you could stop, just grab, or just walk by, and it will affect you. And also, this event will allow students to be more active at Solano, and that's our other goal with this event, right? Is to show that we're all together and we all kind of deal with the same stuff. And so you might meet a friend per se if you do the coloring pages. I know so many people that just like sitting there and color it for like hours, and it brings a positive impact to this campus,
Yeah, and then after we came up with our 5 events, then you presented it to ASSC. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so I went to a ASSC meeting, and luckily that we made a presentation. It talked about the finances, the events, what we would need, and what we are asking from them. And specifically, it was talking about the finances because we wanted to get it for them to be able to fund it. But also we wanted them to be able to promote it with what representation and access they have at Solano. Also volunteers, although we do want to participate and help out. A problem was that we do have class as well, and so we wanted more volunteers to participate. And by the examples and the stats that we had, which you guys I'm sure will be going over soon, they approved it, and I wasn't gonna think that they weren't, because it's a great idea, as we said before, for Solano.
Yeah, and we feel one of the big reasons that it was approved was because we created a survey that we sent to a bunch of students at Solano Community College, and it asked a bunch of simple questions. And from the results of that survey, we found that throughout the semester, the stress was pretty spread out on a scale of 1 to 10. And then the week before finals, on a scale of 1 to 10, 100% of the students rated their stress at a 5 or higher.
Yeah, which is really surprising, because I remember when we were doing our project and we were researching on how many or what percentage of students, I think it was a national percentage of students that are stressed in college, and I remember looking at like 14% around that range that are stressed during college. But our stats that we took from our personal surveys that we gave out at specifically Solano Community College was very high. It was really high. So that means this event that we put on would be a really great event for Solano.
Yeah, and I think looking at like the stats about like nationally is like college students in general are always stressed. You know, there is not a time, you know, if it's not stressed about academics, it's about personal or, you know, finance along those lines. So why like this is something more big is to try to like alleviate the stress for academic purposes, you know, and I think it's important if we could help in any aspect we can, but at least starting now would be trying to help them with their finals week, you know.
And then after we got it approved, we moved on to finalizing our finance sheet. So do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so basically for our finance sheet, we wanted to bring it to ASSC so they know what we needed, and so we can get some budgeting there. So we gave them every single item that we needed from every single day. So such the positive Post-its, we need Post-its, hot cocoa. For pause for a break, we didn't really need anything. For granolas and bubbles, if we needed tables or anything like that. And one thing that I forgot to mention for the mental health awareness was that we would be passing out green ribbons to the whole campus during the whole week of the event. So the green ribbons represent mental awareness, and it would be really, really cool to see students and faculty and staff to be wearing, you know, the green ribbon, and maybe someone's like, hey, why are you wearing that? And maybe they'll come to our event, or maybe they'll tell each other about mental health awareness. So
Which is really important because nowadays we, you know, forget about our mental state and just keep trying to push through. And as I was saying, we're all stressed about something else, not only school, right? And having that awareness is important to, you know, show that we're all inclusive, we're all in this together, there's help out there, you know, our activities isn't only just our activities, we're there to help, you know, with ASSC to give you the resources there for you. So it kind of all connects and basically helps you either or, you know. Any aspect.
Yeah, so it's really important for us to give out those ribbons during the event. And so to finish up the finances, we gave them, you know, our budget and what we needed, and just sent them our finance sheet, what we needed.
Yeah, and then so now that we're finalizing our project and it's reflecting on our group communication throughout the process, we realized that we were so productive and we're able to put on such a big event because of our good group communication skills that we learned. And I feel that one of the biggest ones that helped us out was active listening. And I know that I made it a big effort to actively listen to you guys, and I could tell that when I was talking, you guys were making an effort to actively listen to me, because I could see you nodding your head, smiling, and I feel like we were all understanding each other throughout the entire process.
Yeah, which is very true. Like, we did do that, but I feel like another thing that we don't necessarily learn in like a class setting, but we just learn as a person, is just like to be understanding. I think specifically with our group, because we agreed with our activity and we all understood it and affected us, it was more easier than it would have been, because we all really just wanted this event to be the best way. And I know, like, when I didn't understand or, like, in a sense see one of your guys' perspectives, I was kind of like asking a lot of questions, but it might have seemed maybe like offensive or like annoying or whatever and along those lines, but you guys did not, you know, bring it like, or you guys didn't react that way, because you guys understood that I was trying to come from a side where I was trying to just better the event or better my knowledge of what you are saying, you know. So I really appreciate that, honestly.
Yeah,
and I think I think us being honest with each other really helped us be productive and be able to put on a project that we're all passionate about, because we were honest from the beginning about what we thought was important and what wasn't.
Yeah, I think it's really important, like, being honest and learning how to understand. And if you don't understand, I think it's really important, like you were saying, to ask questions. And that's how you'll gain a better understanding.
Yeah, and we did communicate outside of class a lot, which was really helpful. I know Chelsie was more of the mediator in there, because she would always organize our like emails to our professor, or, you know, something that we needed to do, or like along the lines of Angelica like emailing or asking questions, or like if we're going to meet outside of campus, it was something that we all were able to do through our text and clearly, and we all understood and all agreed to do whatever we were doing, instead of just being, oh no, like I can't do that. You know, it was always a mutual decision, and I think that was really well that,
Yeah. Not only communication doesn't have to be verbally, or it doesn't have to be in person, but it can also be, through text, email, online, social media. Communication is basically everywhere, and we're communicating with our families from across, the world. I'm communicating with you guys when you're at home and when I'm at home, and it's really important too. So
I think with our group, the only I see, not the problem I would say, but hard way of communicating wasn't through us. It was trying to contact through ASSC or for SPCA. So for me, contacting ASSC, it was they understood where I was coming from. They responded to my emails or my text messages, but it was harder in the sense of our idea isn't exactly their idea, or them trying to reach out to see the next step. Because although it is something that we want to do, it is under the ASSC branch, so it is based off of their move now, whatever next step they want to do. It's not hey, we plan we started doing this, we started doing that. It's not about how we would be taking it. It's through them. And I think that was the hardest part, because we have to depend on their time, and when they're able to do whatever they can for this activity, but it was we were dedicating our time for just this activity. So it was really hard in that sense.
And I think we learned that how important feedback is, because when we weren't getting feedback, or it was more difficult to get feedback, it kind of stopped us from progressing in our event.
That's so true. Yeah, if we didn't have feedback, we wouldn't have went through the processes and steps to get to where we are now. So
pretty much. And I mean, now all we have to do is promote, advertise our event, and I think we're gonna have a great event.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah. So thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you at Stress Less Week.
The exponential growth from the program from my first year to my third year now, that's what keeps me coming back and keeps me excited and just fulfills me as a person.
It's so impressive, and we every time we walk in here, you guys are doing something different. It's great. It's
nothing but opportunities here, and we have sports to cover, we have the equipment.
Because the more ambitious you are, the more opportunities you'll have.
On-the-job training is huge.
Get the hands-on experience.
When someone asks who can do it, you can raise your hand and say, I can do it. So
Joining the class was the best decision I ever made.
We're going to go to cut one. And cut one. Cross court to Audrey Jones. Audrey for three. It is good! With 1.3 seconds left on the game clock. Audrey Jones with one of the biggest shots ever.
the sky's the limit, really, with what we can do here.
College just got affordable. Up to 100% of enrollment fees can be reimbursed for first-time college students taking full-time classes. At Solano Community College, we are taking full advantage of this to further your future. With certificate and degree programs in industrial technology, aeronautics, biotechnology, and many others, Solano Community College is a staple for success. For more information, please contact the Financial Aid Office at 707-864-7000. College just got affordable. Up to 100% of enrollment fees can be reimbursed for first-time college students taking full-time classes. At Solano Community College, we are taking full advantage of this to further your future. With certificate and degree programs in industrial technology, aeronautics, biotechnology, and many others, Solano Community College is a staple for success. For more information, please contact the Financial Aid Office at 707-864-7000.